Namaste and Hello. Welcome to the light within. As we approach the festive season, I hope you're feeling the joy and excitement in the air. To all my wonderful listeners, I wish you a very, very happy Diwali. May your Diwali be filled with prosperity, light, and boundless joy. May this festival of lights bring peace to your heart and success to your days. A very happy Diwali to all my listeners. You know, when we think about spirituality, it can often seem distant or complicated, like it's something that you have to go out of your way to pursue. But my goal with this podcast is to bring those ideas closer to you and show that spirituality isn't something extra that you need to do. It's simply about connecting with your true self, and it's the most natural and authentic way to live. We spend our days checking things off to-do list, chasing that feeling of accomplishment. But even when we feel that rush of satisfaction, we might still not feel at peace. It's like we're just going through the motions, adding one more task after another, one more goal after another, but missing that deeper sense of contentment. The truth is, real peace comes from being connected to the divine energy. It could be a form or a formless presence, or simply a sense that there's something bigger than us at work. It's less about doing, but more about just being. You have to experience it for yourself to really get what I'm saying. Now, today's topic isn't about that specifically. I just felt like pouring my heart out first before we get to that. Today's topic is about what to do when we feel disconnected from ourselves. We have all been there, right? You start feeling restless, or maybe you get snappy like I do. Despite consciously practicing a lot of things, I do get restless, and when I do, I start snapping. And then it's like an uphill battle to get back to feeling peaceful. It can feel like two forces pulling in opposite directions, and no matter how hard I try, I just can't push through that resistance. So what to do in those moments when you need immediate relief but you do not have any immediate solution? A lot of us find ourselves asking, what should I do? Especially when life throws challenges our way. Personally, when I'm feeling out of sorts, I turn to a simple question. Oh God, oh Guru, how ought I be? Just asking this shifts something inside of me. The tension, the anger, the anxiety, it all starts to melt away, and I begin to surrender to a deeper sense of peace. These aren't just my words. I was listening to one of Daya Mata's talks recently, and her message struck me like a bolt of lightning. For those who may not know, Daya Mata was a cherished disciple of Sri Paramahansa Yoganandaji and led the Self-Realization Fellowship for over 55 years. Her words carry such deep love and compassion, and the tenderness in her voice just feels like exactly what we need, a gentle, motherly presence guiding her children with care and wisdom. When faced with difficult situations, she would ask, Oh God, oh Guru, how ought I be? It's a question we all can ask, whether we are addressing it to God, our Guru, angels, or however we understand the divine. And the amazing thing is that the answer is already within us. You just have to give it space to come forward. This question isn't just for big, life-changing moments. It can be applied to the small things too. Maybe someone is giving you a cold shoulder at work, and you're not sure how to respond. Instead of reacting impulsively, you could pause and ask yourself, God, how ought I be? What do you expect me to do? How do you want me to behave? And listen to that gentle answer that comes from within. Perhaps it is patience, understanding, or a quiet kindness. That's it. It works in more difficult circumstances too. Imagine if you're facing heartache of losing a loved one, where the pain feels overwhelming and you're not sure how to move forward. In those moments of deep sorrow, you can still turn inward and ask, "Oh God, how ought I be? How do you want me to act?" The answer might be to allow yourself to grieve, to seek comfort in faith, or to trust that healing will come in time. The question opens a path to grace, whether the challenge is simple or profound. The beauty of asking, "How ought I be?" is that it goes beyond our casual concerns about what we should do. It's about who we should be, not what we should do. Are we living in a way that reflects our higher self? Are we showing up with kindness, love, and compassion? It's about that quality of our inner life, not just how we are performing externally. To simplify, the question, "How ought I be?" will lead you to think, how should you come across as a person rather than what you should be doing. Because when you're thinking about what I should be doing, your logical mind may come into action. And when you're working from a logical mind, most likely you're going to be driven by ego, which probably would not lead you to have the outcome that you're looking for, or the right kind of outcome which is in the highest good of yourself and the other person. Instead, if you ask whoever you believe in, divine energy, God, Guru, angels, whoever you believe in, you ask sincerely, "How ought I be?" Your attention and focus will shift towards who should I be rather than what should I do. And that's the power of this question. In Paramahansa Yogananda's teachings and in what Daya Mata has shared, true spiritual life isn't about following rules or checking boxes. It's about aligning to those higher qualities of peace, love, kindness, and compassion, and making them a part of who we are moment by moment. And trust me, one simple act with these core values or emotions will just multiply, and you would see for yourself how it multiplies. The kind of responses that you will get from people, the kind of miracles that you will see in your life is just beyond words. When we ask this question, it's also a reminder of how we should treat others. Most spiritual traditions teach us that divine exists in everyone. So when we ask, "How ought I be?" we are also asking how we can treat others with respect and love they deserve. Are we reacting with our ego through anger, jealousy, or pride, or are we responding with love and understanding? This question leads us to think, how are we acting? It doesn't matter if you are on a spiritual path or not. It's a simple but powerful way to check in within yourself in any situation. Are we living in alignment with our highest values, or are we being driven by fear, insecurity, or ego? Whenever I have caught myself snapping or not at peace, it's either of these two things. Either I am fearful or I'm acting out of my ego, which means that I have lost my connection with the divine energy, and it can be so discomforting. I consciously remind myself of this question. In fact, it is also on my phone as a screensaver, just as a reminder for myself to keep behaving well. God, how ought I be? It's about staying grounded in our best intentions and letting peace and purpose guide us rather than external pressures. Our culture, one of the oldest in the world, has given us plenty of wisdom for dealing with life's problems, from smallest annoyances to major life challenges. But over time, we have lost touch with some of that guidance. The teachings are still there though. And when we make them a part of our daily lives, they become our second nature. When spirituality becomes your default, the answer comes naturally. You no longer wrestle with the dilemmas or feel lost in "what should I do" moments, because you already know the way forward. There's no manual for how to be spiritual. But what I can offer you is this practice. When you're caught in the confusion, simply ask, how ought I be? So that's it for this episode. I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation with you. May your soul be illuminated with the light within. I will see you in the next episode of The Light Within.